Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters in Christ today, I want to talk about something urgent, something that touches the very core of your life and your destiny. I want to talk about being the chosen one, a life God has set apart for a divine purpose. But hear me clearly, there is a risk, a danger, a path that can lead you away from the blessings God has planned for you. And God, in His mercy, is warning you, calling you, trying to save you before it's too late. This is not just a message. This is an urgent plea, a wake-up call. And if you listen carefully, it could change the brothers and sisters. If this message has stirred your heart and ignited a fire within you, don't keep it to yourself, share it like it, and let others be awakened too. Hit that subscribe button and become part of a family that seeks God's truth and embraces His calling. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts, your breakthroughs, and your prayers, because your voice can inspire someone else today. Remember, every like, every share, every subscription is more than just a click. It's a step toward fulfilling your purpose and stepping into the destiny God has set for you. So join the movement, be the light, and let's rise together in faith and courage. Course of your life forever, you are the chosen one. These words are not empty. They are a declaration, a truth that echoes from the heart of God to the very core of your being. From the moment of your creation, before the foundations of the world were laid, God knew you. He set you apart, not by chance or accident, but with a divine purpose uniquely designed for you. The life you live today is not random. It is the unfolding of a story that only you can write, a story that carries eternal significance. Too often, we walk through life unaware of this calling, moving through days as if we are ordinary, yet the truth is extraordinary. Within you is a light, a gift, destiny that the world cannot replicate, and it waits for you to embrace it fully. Being chosen is not always easy. It comes with responsibilities, challenges, and tests that are meant to refine you, strengthen you, and to prepare you for the weight of what God intends to do through your life. It means that you are set apart from mediocrity, from the path of complacency, and even from the comforts of safety. God's call may take you into places you never imagined, asking you to walk by faith, to trust in Him when the world seems uncertain. This is the privilege of being chosen to live a life that is intentional, impactful, and eternal in its reach. Every obstacle, every trial, and every season of struggle is part of the refining fire, shaping you into the vessel God has called you to be. Do not underestimate the power within you. The fact that God has chosen you is proof that you carry within you the capacity to overcome, to lead, and to inspire. You are not here to blend in or simply exist. You are here to shine, to speak life where there is despair, to bring hope where there is darkness, and to fulfill a purpose that only you can accomplish. Every talent, every skill, every opportunity you have been given is not merely for your own gain. It is part of a larger plan to influence, uplift, and transform the world around you. When doubt creeps in, when fear threatens to paralyze you, remember that being chosen means God Himself has equipped you for the journey. You are never alone. The Creator of the universe walks with you, guiding your steps, opening doors, and orchestrating circumstances that align with your destiny. The world may not understand it, and some may even question your path, but being chosen is not about human approval. It is about divine assignment. You were chosen before the world recognized you, before society placed labels on you, and before circumstances seemed favorable. Your calling exists independently of the opinions of others, and your purpose cannot be diminished by the challenges you face. Every moment you embrace your identity as the chosen one, you step into the fullness of life God intended for you, walking in courage, faith, and unwavering trust in His plan. Avoid the risk that leads you away from God's plan. Life is full of paths, choices, and opportunities, and not every direction is meant for you. Some roads are filled with promise, yet hidden beneath their surface are dangers that can steer you away from your destiny. The enemy is clever, often presenting temptations and distractions that seem harmless or even exciting, but in reality, they are traps designed to pull you from the path God has chosen for you. To be chosen is to walk a narrow way, a path that demands discernment, faith, and vigilance. Every step matters, every decision carries weight, and every moment is an opportunity to align yourself with God's divine purpose or to stray into a path that can cost you more than you realize. Risk of turning away is not always obvious. It may appear as comfort, convenience, or even as the approval of others. But comfort without purpose is a snare, convenience without guidance is a trap, and approval without truth is a fleeting shadow that leaves the soul empty. God's plan for your life is not built on shortcuts, easy victories, or fleeting pleasures. It is built on faithfulness, obedience, and courage. Choosing the easy path may seem tempting, but it often leads to delay, disappointment, and the loss of what God has prepared specifically for you. Warning is urgent because the consequences are real and the stakes are eternal. God does not desire to restrict you. He desires to protect you, to guide you, and to ensure that you fulfill the purpose for which He created you. Every temptation, every distraction, every seemingly small compromise is part of the test. God allows these moments not to punish you, to reveal your heart, to show whether your commitment is to Him or to the fleeting desires of the world. The risk is subtle, often masked in pleasure or recognition, but its effects are profound. Single choice away from God's plan can create a ripple effect, delaying your calling, diminishing your influence, and causing unnecessary pain. That is why awareness, prayer, and discernment are so essential. To walk in the path of the chosen is to be vigilant, to recognize the hidden snares, and to say no to what distracts you from the mission God has entrusted to your hands. Do not underestimate the power of small, seemingly insignificant decisions. They accumulate, shaping the trajectory of your life. Every day presents moments where you must choose between the fleeting and the eternal, between risk and obedience, between the world's illusions and God's truth. Avoid the risk that leads you astray requires courage, wisdom, and a steadfast focus on the divine calling. You must remind yourself that being chosen does not make life immune to challenge. It does provide a compass, the Spirit of God, to guide you through uncertainty, temptation, and confusion. In recognizing the dangers and rejecting them, you step firmly into your destiny, keeping your life aligned with the purpose God has designed for you. Listen to God's warning. He wants to save you. There is a voice, a still small whisper that reaches deep within your soul, a voice that has been speaking to you even when you did not realize it. It is the voice of the Creator, the one who formed you, the one who knows every intention of your heart and every challenge you will face. His warnings are not threats. They are acts of love. They are a lifeline extended to you in a world full of dangers, distractions, and decisions that could steer you away from the destiny He has designed. To ignore this voice is to walk blindly, but to listen is to walk in clarity, in protection, and in the fulfillment of the calling that is uniquely yours. God's warnings are urgent, precise, and deeply personal. They are meant to open your eyes to the risks you cannot always see, spiritual battles that surround you, and to the paths that could lead to loss, sorrow, or regret. Many times, people mistake God's warnings for inconvenience, for restriction, or for judgment. They say, I can handle this on my own, or this isn't really a big deal, but God sees beyond the surface. He sees the trajectory of your life, the potential pitfalls, and the consequences that lie hidden. His warnings are designed to redirect you, to pull you back from the edge, and to remind you that His plan is greater than anything you could imagine. There is mercy in every warning because it is God reaching out to protect you, to preserve the gift He has placed in you, and to ensure that you do not settle for less than the purpose He has destined. Urgency is real, for time is fleeting, and every moment of delay can open doors to choices that may take you away from His design. To listen to God's warning requires humility and attentiveness. It requires a heart that is willing to submit, to trust, and to follow even when the path is difficult or unclear. It requires faith to act before the danger fully appears, obey even when the consequences are uncertain, and to believe that God's wisdom far exceeds your own understanding. The world may whisper lies of independence and self-sufficiency, convincing you that warnings are unnecessary or overcautious. Yet those who heed the divine voice experience a protection that transcends human understanding, a guidance that illuminates the way, and a peace that passes all fear. God is not trying to limit you. He is trying to save you from mistakes, from missteps, and from the heartache that comes from straying from His path. Every warning carries with it the invitation to change, to realign, and to draw closer to God. He does not wish to condemn. He wishes to deliver, to rescue, to elevate you to the fullness of your potential. In every caution, there is hope. In every redirection, there is opportunity. In every alert from God, there is the promise that your life can be preserved, your destiny can be protected, and your calling can be fulfilled. To listen is to embrace life, to embrace purpose, and to trust that the God who made you knows best the path you must walk. Take action today. Don't wait for tomorrow. There is a powerful truth in those words, a truth that can determine whether your life moves forward into destiny or remains stalled in hesitation. Procrastination is one of the greatest thieves of purpose. It whispers lies into your heart, convincing you that tomorrow will be easier, that the time will be right, or that circumstances must first align, but God's timing is now, and the opportunities He places before you are often fleeting. Delay action is to risk missing the very moment that could change your life forever. Every step of obedience, every decision to move forward in faith is a declaration that you are willing to trust God and pursue the calling He has set before you, no matter how uncertain or challenging it may seem. The enemy thrives in hesitation. He knows that the longer you wait, the more doubt can grow, the more fear can take root, and the more you can convince yourself that inaction is safer than obedience. Yet safety is an illusion. Inaction can cost more than action ever could. To take action today is to break the chains of fear, to step into courage, and to align yourself with God's plan. Even small steps taken consistently and with faith have the power to create momentum. They set in motion forces that you cannot always see, opening doors, creating opportunities, and drawing blessings that were previously unreachable. God rewards those who act, not those who merely wish or dream, and He honors the heart that moves with faith, even when the path is unclear. Action requires courage, because it often means stepping into the unknown, facing resistance, and risking failure. But courage is not the absence of fear. It is obedience despite fear. Every person who has ever fulfilled their calling has faced moments of uncertainty and challenge, and yet it was their willingness to act that brought them into their purpose. God does not ask for perfection. He asks for movement. He asks that you trust Him enough to step out even when the outcome is unseen. Every effort made in faith strengthens your spirit, sharpens your discernment, and confirms your alignment with His will. The doors that seem closed today can swing open tomorrow, but only if you have taken the first step, only if you have chosen to act in accordance with the divine plan. Taking action today is also an act of faith, a demonstration that you believe God's promises are true and that His timing is perfect. It is a refusal to remain passive while the world passes by, a commitment to seize the opportunities God has placed before you, and a declaration that your life will not be defined by hesitation. Waiting for the perfect moment often leads to missed opportunities, delayed destiny, and the frustration of seeing others move forward while you remain stagnant. God's call is urgent, and your response cannot be delayed. Every moment matters, and every decision to move in faith brings you closer to the life He has prepared. To act today is to embrace responsibility, step into leadership over your own life, and to honor the calling that God has entrusted to you. Waiting for tomorrow may feel safe, but it is in the action of today that your faith is tested. Your purpose is revealed, and your destiny begins to unfold. Your faith and courage can change your destiny. These are not merely words. They are powerful truths that have been demonstrated throughout the history of God's people. Faith is the invisible hand that moves mountains, the anchor that holds the soul steady when storms rage, and the light that illuminates the path ahead when darkness surrounds you. Courage is the companion of faith. It gives you the strength to act when fear wants to hold you back, speak truth when lies abound, and to move forward when the world seems uncertain. Together, faith and courage form the foundation upon which destinies are built. Shaping lives in ways that no human power or circumstance can undo. God has placed these gifts within you, not to remain dormant, but to be exercised boldly, that your life can leave a mark that echoes far beyond what you can see today. Too often, people underestimate the power of faith and courage. They wait for conditions to be perfect, for fear to subside, or for certainty to appear before they take a step forward. But God calls you to move in faith precisely when the outcome is unclear, to act with courage, even when the risk seems great, and to trust that He is orchestrating every detail for your ultimate good. Faith is not passive, it is active. It requires belief and action simultaneously, trusting that God will fulfill His promises while taking steps that align with His plan. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite fear, standing firm when the world pressures you to compromise, and persevering even when obstacles arise. These qualities are the instruments God uses to shape your destiny, to elevate you above circumstances, and to position you for the victories He has prepared. Every act of faith and every moment of courage creates momentum in your life. Small steps of trust can accumulate into life-changing transformations, unseen victories, and opportunities that seem impossible by human standards. When you choose faith over doubt, and courage over fear, you open yourself to divine intervention, guidance, and provision that surpasses understanding. History is full of stories where ordinary people, through faith and courage, fulfilled extraordinary destinies. Abraham stepped out into the unknown. Moses faced Pharaoh with trembling hands, yet unwavering trust. David faced Goliath armed with faith and courage. Their lives teach us that destiny is not determined by circumstance or size of strength, by the willingness to trust God and act boldly in His name. Faith and courage also inspire others. When you stand firm in belief and move with boldness, you become a beacon of hope and encouragement. Your actions ripple outward, touching lives in ways you may never fully realize. People are drawn to the light of conviction, the power of trust, and the example of one who dares to act in accordance with God's calling. Your courage strengthens communities, your faith ignites movements, and your life becomes a testimony that others can follow. In a world full of uncertainty, fear, and doubt, it is faith and courage that separate those who achieve their divine calling from those who settle for less. These are the keys that unlock potential, forces that push back darkness, and the tools God has given you to step into the destiny He has prepared. Every decision to act in faith, every choice to stand courageously has eternal significance and the power to redirect your life in ways that honor God and fulfill His promises. Share, like, comment, and subscribe to inspire others. Every word you hear, every message that touches your heart carries the potential to spark a change, not only in your life, but in the lives of countless others. God's truth is not meant to remain private. It is meant to flow, spread, and to transform. When you engage by sharing what moves you, by liking what uplifts you, and by commenting to express your faith and testimony, you participate in a chain of inspiration that can reach far beyond your own circle. Each action becomes a ripple in the river of God's purpose, contribution to a greater movement that has the power to awaken souls, strengthen hearts, and redirect lives toward the path he intends. Too often, people underestimate the influence of small gestures. Like may seem insignificant, a comment may appear trivial, and subscribing may feel like a simple click, but in God's kingdom, no act of faith, encouragement, or support is ever wasted. Every interaction is a seed planted, a spark ignited, a moment where someone else can encounter hope, courage, and conviction. Your willingness to act, even in these small ways, demonstrates commitment and belief in the message of truth. It proclaims that you are not a passive observer of God's work, but an active participant in his mission to transform lives. God uses ordinary actions performed with faith to accomplish extraordinary outcomes. Commenting is a declaration of engagement. When you leave words of encouragement, testimony, or insight, you become part of a dialogue that can inspire reflection and change. Your voice can affirm someone's struggle, remind them of God's presence, or provide the motivation they need to take the next step in their journey. Liking and sharing carry similar weight. They amplify the message, extending its reach to people who may be searching for hope, for direction, or for a reminder that they are not alone. Subscribing is a commitment to ongoing growth, a choice to remain connected to a source of spiritual encouragement, and a pledge to stay engaged with content that nurtures your faith and strengthens your resolve. The act of sharing and engaging is also an expression of gratitude. When you acknowledge the value of a message, you honor the effort and the inspiration behind it. You affirm that the truths of God's word, the lessons he imparts, and the encouragement he provides are worthy of attention and action. In doing so, you participate in God's work, helping to carry his message to places that might otherwise remain in darkness. Every like, every comment, every subscription is a testament to your commitment to faith and to the idea that your actions, no matter how small, can influence the trajectory of lives. In a world that often seems distracted and disconnected, your engagement becomes a light, a signal, and a source of hope. By taking the time to interact, you are not just consuming content, you are contributing to a movement of inspiration, courage, and awakening. God calls you to participate, to act, and to use the tools at your disposal to help his message reach as many hearts as possible. When you share, like comment and subscribe, you are partnering with God, becoming a vessel through which his truth flows, and ensuring that the message of hope, purpose, and divine calling reaches those who need it most.